Hello! Welcome back to the Ali and Sham's kitchen. Today we will be giving you a tutorial on how to use Git, and this will be especially useful if you are entirely new to Git. Our scope.
We'll be using it in this device and nothing else. In another video, we'll mention how to use Git outside your computer and go into a remote repository. In this case, we're going to only focus in this device by yourself, no other users.
A brief overview of this video. First, we will show you what you need to begin using Git. Next, we will talk about our sample Python project, and we will show you how we're going to make it a Git repo, how we're going to do commits and track the changes as this project grows in this video.
If you never use Python, don't worry about it. Just treat it as you're developing code in your own language. Don't worry about this.
So let's start. So what do we need to begin using Git? First, we need
a computer.
That's right. And if you're using Mac or Linux, you can use your terminal. If you're using Windows,
we can go to the git-scm.com website, which is the official Git website, and you can just download from Windows here.
So what you're downloading is Git Bash. So instead of using the terminal for Windows users, use Git Bash. You just press your Windows key and type bash.
Yeah. After you install it, you should be able to run it. It looks exactly like a terminal, but it's different.
That's right. One more thing, we recommend following the standard installation guidelines. It doesn't really matter. If you're not happy, you can uninstall and reinstall. It will not affect your projects at all.
How do I know if I have Git installed in my computer, whatever that is? So in this case, I'm using Mac, as you can see. I'm gonna just type Git version. If I don't have Git, I will have an error. In this case, I have Git, so I just have the version number. You don't need to have the same number. As long as you have any number, it's fine. Okay, so what commands are we going to use in today?
These are commands we will be typing into the terminal. There is git status, git commit, git log, git reset, git checkout.
And more importantly, git init, which tells us how to start a repository.
Git diff as a bonus. So let's show you our sample Python project.
Yes. So if you focus here, I have a Python project already ongoing. It's a sample code that takes two numbers, squares them, and put them together. If you look at my terminal here, I'm gonna show you, first of all, I'm gonna do cd, so this means I'm in my root directory. I'm gonna navigate to my desktop, and then I'm gonna navigate to the folder where I put my code, which is this one. So I can do a pwd, I show you this is where I am. I can do ls, and I can see the content of the folder. I can just see the main.py, that's the only file. So if you see my main.py here on the right, I'm using the Spider editor, and you can see that I have defined a function that squares and adds two numbers given as inputs, returns the result. I have a function that writes some messages and then uses the previously defined function, and then just say goodbye. And in the end, I see show result 3 and 4. What this will do, we'll try to use all this for the numbers 3 and 4. So this means that we will square 3 and we'll square 4, put them together, print everything on the screen. So I can show you right now how my code is running. So I can do just this, and it seems to be working correctly. So
you're inputting 3 and 4, and squaring and summing that will give you 25.
Yeah.
Math is cool.
That's cool. So
okay, so we get your project now.
Yeah, so right now it's like, okay, this is fine. My code seems to be okay. This is a great time to do what? We would like to create a Git repository for this. So we can say, okay, is this a Git repository? I should be able to see the status. Oh no, this is not a Git repository. Fatal, actually. So first of all, we will need to create a Git repository. The way to do this is by doing git init. That's it. Enter. I have now initialized a Git repository. So if I do ls, you see nothing different. But if you do ls-a to show hidden folders, you will see that there's a .git hidden folder. This is where Git does all its magic, so please don't touch this folder.
So how do we do our first commit now that this is a Git repository? We want to stage it, we want to commit it, and that's it, really.
Yeah, it's just two things. So
how do we stage it?
Yeah, so first let's see what we have. Git status. We see that there's two files that are untracked.
In red.
Yeah, so we want to keep track of everything. The ds store file you can ignore, that's from Mac, don't pay attention to it.
How do we stage it?
Okay, so we could add one by one, but we can also say git add dot. This means that everything in this folder and all subfolders will be tracked and will be staged.
Everything in red will be staged.
Okay, so I do this, I do git status now, Aha!
It's in green,
Yes.
which means it's been successfully staged. So only files that have been staged will be committed.
Yes, as you can see, Git tells me there's no commits yet. So let's do one. So at this point, we say we're happy with this code. We're going to do a git commit -m. This is my initial commit. That's it. Very simple. I'm going to keep track of this. So I need to have quick messages so I can read them and know what I did.
Yeah, maybe we could add like add square number.
Yeah.
Add
Add numbers. Okay. Enter. Okay, so you may notice that there's some name and email address being asked here. You can ignore that. That will become relevant when you try to talk to a remote repository that's in the cloud or somewhere else. For now, just don't worry about this.
Okay, so how do we check that we have successfully committed?
Yes, again, always use git status. As you can see, it tells me my nothing to commit, working tree is clean. So I'm gonna clear this as well. And I can do a git log. Git log keeps track of all the commits. So far, just now, I only have one commit. So I can see that this commit has a specific ID.
Oh.
Yeah. I will be able to use this later on to refer to the commits.
I did not know that if you scroll up, I did not know this. I did not know this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now we have our first commit. We're going to make some development in our project. What shall we do? We shall add a new file, a new Python file.
Yeah, so actually I think we can create a function and then use this function in this main file.
Okay.
So let's create first a folder. First, where are we, right? pwd, we're in the same folder as always. Create a functions folder. And now I'm going to go to
list.
Yeah, I can show, yes, there's a new function folder there. I'm going to create a new file in Spider. And let's just save it right away before I forget. Okay, so I just, right now, not in all the time, I wrote this very simple function, and what it does, it increases the inputs. So let's say you give me two numbers, it will add +1 to each number and return that. So I can again do a quick test and see if this is working. So let me go to my functions folder.
Oh, you could just run it.
I could also just run it, but I can show you it works. Yes, I input 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
And I'm getting 2 and 3.
Right.
So it's working. So again, this is a good time to
commit.
Commit.
Because you've checked that it works.
Yes, but where should I go? So I should go to my...
Usually you would go to the folder with your .git hidden folder. Did we mention that?
No, but now you know.
Okay, so let's go back to cool math,
Yes.
which is one step forward.
Perfect. Yes, this is where I am. So let's do a git status, see what happens. Aha! We have a functions and track file, so we should
Stage it.
Yeah. So let's do it. Git add. I could do it one by one. I could just type files and all things, but I'm gonna do the period, just like that. Let's see what happens now. Git status. Yes. Now Git knows about my new function, and we are ready to commit. So let's do it. Git commit -m. This will be add increase function. So I know what I did. Enter.
Okay.
This point I can do git status again. Nothing to commit, and it's clear. Git log. Fantastic. This is my second commit. It has a different ID, and I can see by the title and everything, by the message. Yeah.
Now you should be kind of familiar with creating commits. It's really just git add to stage it and git commit with a message.
Yeah.
And git log to review the commits. So now our further development is to integrate this increased number Python script into the main Python script.
Yeah, so we create a function, let's use it. So by doing this, we can go to the main.py and we'll do some tweaks. So now let's integrate the function we developed. Okay, so as you can see now, my file is a bit more complex. I added some imports to bring the function over. And basically I'm importing the increased number file, which contains the function called increased inputs. So if you see line 24, you'll see a temp1 and temp2 variable. And this is what? This is the result of using the increased inputs function that is inside the increased numbers. and I'm inputting 1 and 2.
Okay.
So this means that when I run my things, it will do +1 on both input 1 and 2, and then
it will square at the increased numbers.
Yeah, so then I need to change this so it does that instead, right? So now I will get, let's say I will be inputting 3 and 4, +1 both of them.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's say you're inputting 3 and 4.
Yes.
Here. Okay.
Yes. And then I'm gonna +1 both of them here.
Yeah.
This will give me 10, 1 and 10, 2. And then I'm gonna feed them to be squared and added together.
Okay.
So one more thing is that I'm gonna save this, is that in my function I had a print, I'm gonna hide this. Okay. So never mind.
Okay.
So at this point I can try to run my code, see if it's working, see if it's integrated properly. So I'm gonna do that. Wait. I'm here, right? Yes. So I'm gonna do my main.py. Okay, so I am inputting 3 and 4, but if I square them, actually what I'm doing is I'm doing 4 squared plus 20 plus 5 squared together, that's 41. So checks out, integration done correctly.
My math sucks, so.
Yes, I think it's okay.
Okay. Okay, so we have a working change. We have integrated our increased number.py into our main.py, and now we want to commit this.
Yeah, so
again, we add
git status.
Always status first.
Okay, so note that, for example, there is some modifications. There's a new py cache, which is because we imported some functions, never mind about that. But what's important is that we have modified our code, and Git tells us that.
Yeah.
So we need to stage all of this. So we're gonna do git add dot again. This is everything. We do git status again, and now we have this new file that we're keeping track of.
Okay.
So now let's do a comment.
Okay.
So git comment, and our message will be integrate increase number. Yeah, so I can remember what I did. That's it. So
git log.
Yeah, let's clear this, do a git log. Okay, so I have 3 commits. This is fine. So
okay, so now you're familiar with how to do a commit. So what else can we do with Git? For example, what if you went to your main code and you like erased everything, saved it, closed it, and now you can't undo it? How do I get my code back into its working state?
Yeah, so it's like, okay, wait, do you really do that? So I'm gonna open my main.py and it's super empty and there's no undo for me. Okay, so this will be a traditional scenario where you'll be in big trouble. But
you will be in big trouble.
Yes. So what I would like to do now is use Git to help me. So I'm gonna do the git reset hard command. This will allow me to go back to my last commit. Remember that my last commit is commit increase number. So it means when I just integrated that function. So everything was fine at that point. I'm gonna do git reset hard. Can't even pronounce. And this will bring me back to my last commit. So Spyder reloads files automatically. If you're using Notepad, you may need to close and open again to see changes after you do the reset. So I'm gonna just click, everything appears magically back. I mean, not magically, thanks to Git. And at this point, you can see that I have all my files. I can see if it's working again even. Let's do it. Perfect. So this is one scenario. This is fine. But what if you're like realizing, you know what, this function is stupid. We should not do this at all.
We want to keep the function, but we don't want to integrate it. Is there a version that we did not integrate it?
Yes, because if I want to manually unintegrate this, I need to modify, like delete stuff, change where I put temp, put input.
Sounds like too much work.
Yes.
I don't want to hear it.
Yes, and very likely you make mistakes. So best way to deal with this is using git
checkout.
Yes. So we're gonna do git checkout where? We're gonna go back to a commit, but we're gonna go back to the second commit when we added the function. So we just created the file, but we didn't integrate it. So we're only gonna do that step now. So let's do a git checkout of what? Well, this is where we use the ID of the commit. So I'm gonna just copy here and I'm gonna paste it. So this is my line, I press enter, and then I can go back here, click. That's it. We go back to the original one, and now we have a code that's working. It's what we know, it was fine, and everything thanks to Git.
Do you want to mention Git diff?
Yeah. So
bonus tip.
You can use git diff to see the difference between your last commit and what you have right now. In this case, we can try to use it. I don't know if you see anything.
No.
Because with this is exactly the last commit.
What if I simply added a space here and I saved, and now I type git diff again, I will see that that change.
Exactly. So git diff allows you to keep track of what exactly was changed.
So red is obviously deleted and green is added.
Yeah, that's it. Very simple.
Okay, so that's all you need to know. How do you init a repository? How do you make a commit? And how do you reset, check out, git diff, git log?
Yeah. And this is your flow. Like, you don't need to go back and move around magically. Just use it when you need it to. But know that Git has your back as long as you keep doing commits.
Git is magic, if you didn't know that.
Yeah.
It is.
It's not like someone developed it with a lot of effort.
What?